My name is Marina Genel. I am the owner of Mishka SOHO. My parents had discovered the area, and since my mother was a colorist, a hairdresser that was very well known in Odessa, where we came from, that's the path that she wanted to continue. So my father was a doctor, pediatrician. So after 3 years practicing, changed his profession, took his hobby, which was his jewelry, turned it into a profession. So we had opened a salon called Genel. That's my mother. My father was right next door doing jewelry design. So it was family-owned business for 18 years, and then I stayed as an owner and sold it after my kids were born and needed a lot of my involvement in sports and activities that we had to divide and be available more. So I was always raised with parents and grandparents that actually my grandfather was a famous culinary, and he was my mentor, my example. My grandparents were always into authentic, good food, and I grew up in an environment where food was what you put into your body, is who you are. The opportunity came after a few years. Yes, I was a consultant and a head esthetician for Blue Mercury, for a company that is very well known now, but I always kind of had the vision of me being in a hospitality business, more where it had everything. The environment of home, the food, atmosphere, authentic food that you could remember growing up. I was raised and born in Odessa, in the center of it. My uncle was a director of an opera theater, and my parents and my grandparents were a true Odessa citizens from generation to generation. It was probably one of the last, 1984, 83, when nobody was leaving. We left, immigrated to the United States. We lived in Italy for some time. That was the country that accepted immigrants, and then we chose to go to the United States. So I went to Columbia High School when we lived in South Orange, and then moved down the shore where my mother had opened the business, and it became a family business, a beauty business that involved beauty, makeup, skincare, hair, color, everything above and beyond. I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes when I was 4. It was shock, but my grandparents stood up, did not put me on insulin, and were extremely strict and supportive of me trying to overcome it, which I was told by a professor at that time in Moscow that by the age of 13, 14, when girls develop, I should probably outgrow it if I'm one of the millions and lucky. And it's not only luck, but a lot of discipline, a lot of understanding of what's good for you might not be good for somebody else. And as you trying to get rid of that sickness, you learn a lot, how important it is what you put into your body, and that your body is your best doctor. I always made sure that my friends, my family, my kids coming to my house felt that we waited for them. And even if I had unexpected visits, watching my grandparents, watching my parents, there was always something good, authentic, that was cooked. So everybody felt important. Everybody felt that it was made for them. Traveling a lot to Italy and different countries, throughout my beauty and fashion years. I adopted a lot of different dishes, ingredients, but decided that I want to be the one that will never forget what I was taught bringing up. When I was brought up by my parents, my grandparents that had traditions and valued them. So that was my choice. The restaurant business and the way Mishka had happened, the opportunity came, and I decided to take it and fulfill my grandparents' dream and mine as well. I want my kids to remember special moments, everything that they were brought up and ate and tasted in our house, and the way things were served, and the way my grandmother demanded that everything had to be with love. Not necessarily perfect, but just served and done with love. So that's what I wanted to create. A home that will make you feel loved, comfortable, where you can have a birthday party, corporate party, feel safe, have fun, have great food, and bring any piece of art, any piece of something where I can help, I will. What makes it special is this place is full of love, and a lot of people express that when they walk in. I wanted to create a home. I wanted to remember what my grandparents had, which was a huge library. My grandfather was an amazing listener, an amazing mentor for me that went through a World War II, and so did my grandmother. So I just try to keep everything authentic and at the same time accent certain areas where everywhere I could look, they would remind me of themselves. COVID, that helped, and of course was devastating in a way because it was a time when I opened. But it helped to bring everybody together and receive the true love and help from people that turned out to be very loyal. People that I didn't know for a long time just came to help. So I was always a true believer that when something falls into your life, into your hands, there is a reason, and you just have to judge what is that reason. I chose Soho because it was always my favorite little spot. For as long as I have been coming to New York City. Then coming here with kids, my family, going to a tree, always coming back to Soho made me feel like home. Probably it reminds me a little bit of Odessa. Everyone's together, everyone knows each other. The culture is forever and ever. A lot of people live here for ages. I love it. My children were my biggest inspiration. No one wanted me to do it. They didn't want me to go through a hard time after I already built a business in my life and experienced a lot of difficulties. Of course, your loved ones and your children are always looking out for you, and not that they didn't believe in me, they didn't believe that the timing was right. And I believe that sometimes time that seems to be very difficult somehow plays in your favor. It makes you stronger, puts you through certain lessons before you get what you deserve. My son Jonathan is in hospitality business, international hospitality business, and he had developed with a friend water that is blend press clean caffeine and gives you a natural energy without additives of chemicals. My daughter is working for a great company that is called Eat Clean Broome, and I'm very proud of her, and I'm very proud of him that in some way they're following the path, and that they heard me when I was trying to deliver the message and saying, when you grow up, you'll realize how important it is. What you put into your body is who you're gonna be. Whoever is thinking about opening a restaurant, first of all, of course, it depends where, but probably the most important thing, it's not the time, it's the love that you have for what you're doing is what makes a huge difference. You have to love what you do. You have to love this. If I didn't, I don't know where I would find the strength. But it's endless. There's no measure. And the more you love, the more it comes back to you. I'm planning to have Mishka as a legacy going forward, and to have very exclusive things in the restaurant and offer it to many people, many cultures of all kinds, as much as I possibly can. Yes, the brand of Mishka is extremely important to me, and I'm looking forward to expand. I'm looking forward to have the most exclusive teas and offer a special tea time. It was a tradition, it was a whole ritual for us growing up. To create dishes that's still as authentic as they were when I was growing up. My signature dishes is borscht, olivier, which is a potato salad. That's made totally different in Odessa versus other cities and regencies. Stuffed cabbage. It's very important for my guests and for people to realize that my main concern is to deliver healthy food, for people to walk out of here and not feel that they're stuffed, to come back because they enjoyed the experience and the food. I offer gluten-free options for those who have allergies towards that. Actually, we order specially gluten-free pasta for some people that we always have, and it's made authentically from Italy. We have vegan, vegetarian options. We have special options for kids when parents bring little kids. So there's an option for anyone. So I've learned that love is an amazing feeling that brings you tons of endless power in many ways. Believe in yourself. I learned that I can actually change some things by experiencing growing up with diabetes, and I can probably at least deliver it to my children for their kids.